Hello there, Steve Mattis with Actual Infinity. Welcome to my video today. It is good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Today I want to talk about heart-centered marketing that misses the mark. It's well intended, but it just doesn't land. And I want to share, it's a good example of an effort being made trying to be sincere and genuine and caring, kind, all the kinds of things that I would tend to really enjoy, but it misses the mark, and there's some really clear reasons why. Before we get into the material today, however, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Click that thumbs up button below the video if you enjoy this. That gives me good feedback to know what you want to see more of. But in the meantime, let's get into it. All right, so let's listen in to the voicemail that I received, and then we'll talk about what worked and what didn't.
Hey, this is Joe Mascari at Sullivan Automotive Group, and I just wanted to take a quick moment and leave you a voicemail introducing myself. I make it a point to reach out to our friends, neighbors, and community members personally at least twice a year. I'm not going to sell you anything today or tell you about some big sale or special we've got going on. I just wanted to reach out and let you know that if and when you do find yourself in the market for a vehicle, I want the opportunity to earn your business. So please keep a number handy and keep us in mind. If you ever need any assistance, myself or a member of my team can be reached directly at 812-638-4675 anytime you need us. Thanks, and we look forward to hearing from you.
All right, so there it is. You heard it here. Isn't that interesting? So what do you think about that? Sounds like a nice enough call, right? Here's the thing. The person said that he wanted to call and introduce himself, which means that we have no relationship, which is true. I don't know who this automotive group is. I've never heard of them. I've never done business with them before. The phone number was from a town called Nashville, Indiana, which was I never lived near Nashville, Indiana. So I'm really confused as to how I'm a neighbor. So he said he reaches out regularly to friends, family, and neighbors at least twice a year. And yet he's calling me to introduce himself. So he must not reach out because I've had this same phone number for over a decade, probably close to 2 decades now. Never heard from him before in his life. So if he calls all of his friends, family, and neighbors twice a year, and it's taken him 20 years to call me, that's an integrity issue. That's not true. So, all right, so let's give him a break, and let's just say he's trying to be nice and reach out. Now, what's interesting is he says, I'm not calling you about some big sale or some big deal, and yet he's trying to make it sound like this isn't a sales call, right? Because as heart-centered marketers, we often want to have calls, or we want to market, we want to reach out to people, but we don't want to be salesy. Like, I don't want to sell anything. But the truth is, you are selling something. You really are selling something. You want to sell something. You're not just checking in on me just to check in on me. Now, I recommend to clients all the time that you reach out to people to check in on them, but when I encourage that, it's to legitimately check in on them. If they have an interest, or you checking in on them spurs their attention to think, oh, you know what? I haven't seen you for a treatment in a while. I am going to call you. That was so nice of you to reach out. When you genuinely reach out without offering a little pitch, then it's genuine reaching out. He did have a pitch. He wasn't just calling to express his concern or his care or his love. He wanted me to think of him when I did business next. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are worse things, right? There are worse calls that we could get. So I'm not meaning to really go in on this guy at the Sullivan Automotive Group for for giving me that voicemail, for leaving me that voicemail. It's a fine thing to do, but it lacks some of the key pieces of integrity that I would need to feel good about it. Number one, don't pretend that you know me if you don't. So if you're reaching out to people in your market, if you don't have any relationship with them, don't pretend that you do. If you do have some relationship with them, it can be even as slight as they've signed up for your email list. That's enough of a relationship that you can lean into that. And if I were to call someone, which I don't, and I'm not going to, if I were to call someone who signed up on my newsletter list and that I have not talked to previously, I might say, hey, this is Steve Mattis calling from Actual Infinity. The reason that I'm calling is that you're signed up on my email list. I know we haven't interacted before, but I just wanted to reach out and express my appreciation that you've signed up and that I really care that you're here, and I just wanted to thank you for that. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care. That would be a genuine, sincere, heart-centered marketing way to reach out. Like, how many calls have you ever gotten from someone for an email list that you signed up for with no, hey, I've got a great deal, or maybe let's schedule a call, or there's like some agenda, right? What if you simply called and you shared your appreciation, your care, your interest, and let that be enough? That's heart-centered marketing, even if you have very little relationship. The second thing, don't overstate your efforts. This guy said that he reaches out at least, he made a point of it to say at least twice a year to my friends, family, and neighbors. No, you don't. That is just not true. You've never reached out to me before. And I've been your neighbor. Apparently I'm on the neighbors list for some reason, even though I've never lived near or in Nashville, Indiana, for 20 years. So it creates distrust if you're not really honest in what you're saying. Lastly, don't act like you really care when you really are trying to sell. It's okay to sell. If you want to sell, sell. If you want to care, care. If you want to sell and care, fine. But don't sell and say you're just caring. Name both clearly so that you're in integrity in how you market. That's what I wanted to share. So when you're reaching out to either people that you have no relationship with, or people on your list, or people, former clients, past clients, and you are wanting to reach out for some reason, by all means do that. I encourage clients all the time to stay in contact with people who've done business with you. Continue the relationship after they stop paying you. At least for a while. At least check in. It's just a good thing to do. I have clients that I worked with, gosh, I don't know, I've been in business almost 10 years and with Actual Infinity, and there are clients that haven't worked with me for 5-6 years that I still connect with. In fact, just today, I haven't worked with this client for, gosh, it must be, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And they're still on my newsletter list. They just sent me a note expressing how much they appreciate it, how much they miss our work together. That just happened, and I stay in contact with people that way. Not because I'm trying to sell them something, but because relationship matters to me. I don't reach out to everybody who I've ever worked with, but I do on occasion send a quick note because I'm thinking about them. That's a fine thing to do. You don't have to sell to those people. Just maintain the relationship. If they were ever interested in working, I might be on that list, right? And that's okay. In the meantime, the worst case scenario is that they feel cared for, you feel like you've done a good deed, you've cared for them, it's mutually caring and mutual kindness, and the world could certainly use more of that. So when you're doing heart-centered marketing, make sure it's truly heart-centered. Make sure that you're in integrity. And then, even worst case scenario, there's more love in the world, and we all need more of that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, subscribe if you would like. Thumbs up, that gives me good feedback, or thumbs down. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down too. I totally support that as well. If you're curious about your marketing or how you can do heart-centered marketing, especially if you're an introvert and it's difficult for you, leave a comment below and I will absolutely reply and offer you 2 cents of good input, guidance, or do my best to answer your question. All right? Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your week. Take good care of your heart. Bye-bye.